Yo, what's going on, everyone? We're back with another video. This one is going to be a Guardian plus 11 Tol Dagor guide, or not guide, just a run through. As you can see with the dungeons this week, we are going to this week we will be running with fortified, bolstering, skittish, infested. Not, I didn't see a problem at all with skittish, but with bolstering, of course, the pulls are going to be a lot slower. It's going to be a lot harder just to cruise through these dungeons this week, and it has been. But I'm just going to walk you through one of the videos that we made. I kind of jumped right into it, but before I do that, there were some questions from the last one for the Feral. Of course, the talents that I'm running. These are the talents I run: Bramble, Ursol's Vortex, Restoration Affinity, which is awesome. We'll go into the Azurite traits and I'll show you something I really like. I like Mass Entanglement. This is pretty good, especially with Skittish. I run Incarnation, Garden of Soul. You know, you may be able to run something else if you'd like to. This one actually may produce more damage with the Moonfire is doing 300% more damage, but I do like the option. Instead of just more damage overall, I do like the option of just like, hey, this tells me when exactly I can do more damage, and I like this because this makes it in the opportunities when I do hit Incarnation, King of the Jungle. It gives me the option to say like, oh hey, I got a big mob coming up. Instead of just being a bear, instead of having like 3.5 DPS, we can have 4 DPS. You can essentially be another DPSer. So you'll see in the videos when I do this. Orthworn, very good healing, and Rend and Tear, pretty easy. So that's what I'm running. Now for the traits, pretty much get the highest Azurite pieces you can get, and that's exactly what I did. So I just got the highest pieces because agility is important, right? The higher agility, that's important. The higher health is really important, right? For bears. So I did trade wins. This is just an overall, just kind of like a little bit damager. But it does increase, when it does proc, it does increase your mastery, which is really nice. I do like this. And you can kind of see a trend here. I kind of chose things that increase my mastery, and you'll see that as well. With this bad boy right here, occasionally loose a tremendous roar, increasing your mastery, right? So I could have done in this option, I could have done Guardian's Wrath, which I'm just mauling, which I do maul quite a bit. This would decrease the rage amount used for Iron Fur. Not bad, but I do like the mastery, and I'll show you why. Mostly because this guy, Waking Dream. So your passive healing, instead of doing every 5 seconds, now does every 4 seconds, right? And it heals for an additional amount. I love this. I love this. It is so good. It's really good. You can do so much passive healing. And the idea for me is like, hey, I just want to just be able to heal myself so much that my healer can then DPS, right? And this you're going to see in the video. So we're going to go cut to the video now. Exit out of here. Alright, we'll open up this video and get right into it. So, you're going to see right here, I did pop, unfortunately, I cut it right in the middle, but I did pop on Incarnation, so we're just going to roll the tape, yo. Yep, so we popped Incarnation. We're doing pretty good. We're doing 20k DPS. Not bad. Not bad for a tank, right? And this is just makes it really helpful, because it's just like for the certain mobs, like I said, for certain mobs, I can just cruise through and be an extra DPS, and we could just kill these mobs more, you know, a little bit more effectively and a little bit faster, right? So you're going to see this fight, I'm just going to be popping my defensive cooldowns. The bosses aren't, you know, like they're not bigger or buffed at all, so it's fairly easy, but I'm going to be popping defensive cooldowns because we do have another Druid healer, and Druid healers are great for kitty DPS. They can pull quite a bit of DPS, so I just want to give my... What's going on here? I want my mouse to leave. How do I get this thing to go away? Maybe I just need to not move.
Beware. Beware.
There, okay, it's going away. I just can't move. I'm not going to set my hands on the computer. So I do want, you're going to see me popping, you know, as much healing as we can do, as much defensive abilities, because I want my kitty, I want my healer to stay in cat as long as possible. It is a little bit difficult for him, though, because with these ads, you know, like passively people are taking more damage. If they step on something, they're taking more damage, right? Looks like my healer is over here, where my DPS meters are, so he's definitely not kidding. Oh, there he is, right next to me now.
Beware.
Yeah, he's not jumping into Kitty at all. He can. Unfortunately, right now I don't have my, it looks like I did this right after a raid, so I don't have my healing meters up. I will do my healing meters later. Because when I play Guardian Druid, I just love looking at the healing meters, and just, because like, with this build and this trait especially, you're going to see that I can top the healing meters just very, very easily, passively. I'm not even doing much. And if you're not aware of that passive, what it does is it just passively heals you every 5 seconds, or if you have the trait, every 4 seconds for 1.5% of your health, right? So the larger your health pool, the bigger amount of these heals. And it's also, if you're full health, it will also heal an enemy, or not enemy, an ally unit instead. So right now I'm just kiting, just using the roots that we chose. These guys do get bigger and bigger, and they do hit quite a bit. But you can see right here, our cat DPS, our healer DPS, did pretty good on that one, almost as much as me. So rogue sapsat, that's great. Yeah, and hopefully the video is not too boring, but you're just gonna see pretty much with this dungeon, not even the dungeon, just with this key, when bolstering happens, you just have to slow the pace down and just be really good single targets or like small mobs, because there's not going to be pulling a lot of mobs in here. So it's just quickly one to the next. And as I said, so now we could talk a little bit about the rotation. So when I play, okay, cool, we're seeing our heals right here. So you can see, like, we're passively healing more than our healer, and then he's going cat. So I just take a look down here at my heal bot at the bottom, or my voodoo, and I'll look at that and be like, oh, okay, am I taking damage? Can I heal myself? If I heal myself now, will anybody else get healed? But as for my rotation, I pretty much just smash spells, right? So I'm putting a marker down. I don't want anybody to pull that next mob. I'm not sure if I yell at the hunter in this group. Yeah, I think stack on melee, right? This hunter, he's gonna pull this mob just by standing there. And it almost looks like he was looking. Now he's like, oh. Yeah, so he pulls everything. I don't think, and you can see I picked him up really quickly there. Rogue died. So yeah, like the skittish hasn't been affected me too much in this. I feel like I should have popped my incarnation here, but that's alright. We're still doing 12k damage. With Guardian Druid, anything with the big pulls, you do crap tons of damage. It's not bad. Okay, so we'll go over the rotation here. So it looks like I did pop incarnation. You can tell when I pop incarnation because all I do is I just do that. Shoot, I don't even know what the spell is. I believe it's thrash. Right. So I'll be like, oh, I'm just thrashing. Looks like it's, and that's it. That's pretty much all you do with incarnation. Just go ahead and just go crazy on that one. But when I do play Guardian, I do prioritize Thrash whenever it's off cooldown. That's like my hardest hitting, biggest aggro keeping ability. So I do that. I don't know what freeing this guy does. I tried looking to see if we got any buffs. I'll look now. I guess he gave us intel buff. Wait. Yeah, he gave us the intel buff. So I prioritize that Thrash, and then it's just like, oh, if it's AoE, swipe, you know, I try to put a Moonfire out, but I normally would just do that as an engage, as long term, and then other than that, I prioritize just thrashing and mauling, and then just kind of rotate. I just fill in. If you want to do, I guess, the most DPS, if you are running this talent that I am, where we're doing incarnation instead of that build with the free Moonfires, I guess it would be DPS, it would be smarter DPS wise to go ahead and moonfire every single target, but I don't worry about that too much. You know, I'm just like, as a tank, you just want to keep aggro, make sure you're healing yourself. I mean, I think that's the coolest part of being a tank, is just like reduce the amount of damage you take, you know, do a lot of healing for yourself, as well as, you know, pull out some DPS when you can, but the DPS is kind of a minor. So as you can see here, I'm scrolling over what my healing is doing what. Looks like our healer is going ham right now. He's doing like more DPS than we are, so it's just like, yeah, I want to keep him here. I want to keep him DPSing. So when these guys run away, I do try and looks like me and the other healer, we did our roots, but you'll just see me anytime something runs away, I will try and root them. So I'm trying to LOS these guys right here. I don't think it's working because some of my teammates are kind of standing out in the open. I don't know if it was the hunter. You will see the hunter make a few mistakes here, especially with trying to CC. Okay, good. With these guys, you do want to interrupt the, I forget what cast it is. It's pretty much the shield. So right now I'm going to go pick up these other ads. These other ads aren't going to actually buff anything else. So I'm just kind of picking them up for in case we need extra percentage. I'm not sure the percentage. That I don't run this dungeon very often, so I'm not really sure the percentage. And then it looks like our rogue is just going to undo everything, all the cages, which will help with the boss fight. Yeah, so you can see these guys are dying, but they're not really buffing anything. So I did run this before, and in here it is a big problem with stuff running away, because they just run into other mobs and it just gets like massively, it just becomes a huge problem, especially with bolstering, where they just buff each other, and it's like it gets pretty out of hand. Okay, so I'm going slow right here. I should have been quicker on that. I was trying to get a bigger pull, but it looks like everybody got rooted over there. So we'll just kill this one. I think somebody else ends up coming anyways. So right now I'm trying to think of like, oh, I don't want anything to skittish, or I don't want anything to bolster anybody else. So I try to lead them a little further away from the original pack, right? And then I check, and so I'm checking right now, and be like, oh, did they get bolstered? And they didn't. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm alright. We'll just chill here. But you do need to be careful when you're kind of CCing and you're pulling away. Don't kill things like really close, especially if they have aggro. If you have aggro to them, you know, you gotta make sure you run away. So right now I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, these guys are gonna skittish. I want to get myself kind of around this. I'm probably like LOSing the healer right now, so I just pop some defensive, pop some self heal right now. But I want to just make it a little bit more inconvenient for them to run away. So this guy starts to run, so I just kind of War Stomp, and then I CC'd with my Intimidating Roar. Alright, so the Watery Doom, that's the thing you need to freeze. So he's trying to get this, I was waiting for him to CC this guy over there, and he brings his ad in, which screws everything up, so I'm like, alright, Hunter. So we're probably going to pop our, what's up, Cam? Probably going to pop our Incarnation here. Just want to make sure to target it. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult for the range to figure out who's then infested and whatnot. Yep, so I popped my Incarnation here, so now it's just straight thrashing. And we'll see how our damage does. Oh, snap. So that sucks. I think now I'm really worried about these next ads, because we don't want to get it out of control, right? Oh, and they went through. Yep, so it's yucky right now. I think, yep. So I think what we do is we wipe, right? Try to get a wipe, and then nobody else wipes, right? But it ends up being really convenient how the ads end up like wiping. I don't know what happens. Try to figure out right now. So I'm saying reset, because this is a nasty situation. We have 3 Gahoons, like it's a waste of time. And I'm pissed at this hunter who was supposed to CC. I'm just like, dude, bro, what you doing? So I'm kind of feeling, I'm like, oh, yo, we're wasted. I'm definitely not rezzing right there. No point in me wasting that res. But check it out. So here's the interesting point. When I get back to it, so everybody's kind of slowly running away from everybody. I think the hunter maybe disengaged. I'm not sure. I think I was the only one that died there. Nope, Hero just died. Here's the Warlock right there. So me, Healer, Warlock died. And I think the hunter must have had aggro and then disengaged. So the hunter and the rogue can do that. Right? So now just the rogue has aggro, and I'm like, what's going on? But the rogue only has aggro on one dude. So I'm like, alright, we'll kill this guy, thinking other people are going to show up, but they don't. So I'm like, oh, this ends up working out, because there was 3 mobs right next to each other with Gahoons. Now we got one of them out of the way here. Yeah. So I'm going to heal this, our little sneaky rogue right here. Yeah, so I don't know how it happened, but I'm like, and then I come back, and the mobs are, like, apart. So it was already perfect. This ended up working out perfect. So for the really crappy situation that we were in, this was, like, the best possible outcome, right? So I was like, okay, this works out. This is cool. This actually really helped us, because with this key, we barely finished it. There was a few mistakes. I don't want to blame everything on the hunter, but this was a big one. Oh snap! That infest got close. Just realizing, man, this Warlock's not doing very much. Not pulling a lot of damage. We're doing more damage than him almost. Yeah. I mean, so pretty much just like on these runs, slow and steady does it, you know, as long as you have good damage, you know. Like, this Warlock is not... Dude, I'm doing more damage than him. I don't even realize this when I'm doing these runs. Yo, he got carried hard. Okay. Anyways, I'm not going to rag on him the whole time. But this just kind of goes to show you on these runs, especially with... you know, depending on how the dungeons are set up, the fix is like you can take it slow. You know, don't rush it. So I root the ads. That's kind of something I've been doing with my roots. Kind of why I took Continuing Roots. It's very good for Gahoons, because a lot of times though the goons will pop off an ad, and you know all the ads are stacked, and when it pops off the ads are already a little bit further away. The goons are a little bit further away, so you can just root them instantly. And then you could DPS them before they even get close to anything. So at this point, I kind of let this guy be. I'm thinking like, except for that cast, right? I'm thinking like, oh, let's just try to get everybody else lower. But those individuals in the cage, even though they're buffed, they may get buffed a lot, they don't have as much health, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, we'll just carry on here quickly. Okay, boss fight. This boss is not buffed, so I'm probably just going to be mauling as much as I can, right? Didn't maul right there. But pretty much, like, all you have to do is just produce as much DPS as you can. Obviously, for the bosses that are buffed, when you are in the dungeons that are buffed, you know, you will be probably doing a lot more defensives. But in this case, I'm not worried about it. It's pretty easy. My healer is going DPS, you know. There's them all. And then I'm just moonfiring for anything that's like a range. I know I have to pick up this ad real quickly. Cool, so he's got him. I'm not sure why we, who interrupted the rogue? I'm not sure why we interrupted this, because I'm pretty sure with this guy you can just DPS him and beat him to the cast. So our hero went down. We're just going to res him really quickly. What happened is the ad kind of jumped on the healer, and I think everybody or somebody interrupted the boss, but we didn't interrupt the ad, which I guess I could have done. So it was on me. These guys are pretty annoying with their handcuffs. Try to get the interrupts on those. Nothing you can do really about the riot shields. See, I'm gonna try to root this dude, or just kill him. Don't want nothing to be running into any more trouble. I think I'm trying to CC, and then I'm just like, whatever, we're going for it. And then I just get, of course, handcuffed. Yep, so I'm trying to CC, and I'm just like, dude, Hunter. So I'm like, whatever, we're just gonna go for it. But this was actually a really cool situation. I've never seen this happen before. I can't grab aggro off these ads. I don't know what the heck's going on, but they are just straight going at this riot shield. I don't know if I'm just not used to this dungeon, but they want this dude dead. So this should be interrupted. I don't have my interrupt up. But I'm like, sick, dude. These guys are just killing him for us. So I didn't want to interrupt that because I was like, hey, maybe I'll help him kill this guy really quicker, you know? So that was cool. I don't know if that was a bug or if that's meant to be like that. So I definitely need to self-heal myself. But look at my self-healing right now. See if I pop. Yeah. Pretty much self-healing myself. I did one frenzied regeneration, but just passively, you know, 5k. Not even a problem. I like it. It's cool. It's fun. I like that trait. So I will have to check out. I'll let you guys know in the next video when I do a little bit of update. But I am kind of curious. I do have gear that that I don't wear, you know, as my tank because it's a little bit lower. Oh, sorry, I'm out of the view. It's a little bit. It's not as strong, right? I try to wear the highest item level I can for my Azurite traits. But I am really curious to put on some other pieces and see how my self-healing is. Because if my self-healing is just ridiculous, I'm not sure also if it reduces the time past 4 seconds or like each piece. So if the next piece I put on 2 pieces, it's like 3 seconds, and then 3 pieces, it's 2 seconds. That would be nuts. To do 1.5% of my health every 2 seconds, you know. So I'll let you know, and it may not be that. It may just, you know. But something we run into a little bit of trouble here. I guess this hunter's pet is like screwing the pooch right now and doing some AoE, but he's gonna end up pulling the mobs in this next room. So we're doing okay here. I'm popping a lot of defensives, but this is hurting a lot. And our healer's healing for 16k. I'm passively healing for, well, not passively, I'm popping heals, but I'm healing for 12k right now. You know? So this is a lot of damage, and he's doing almost 20k. So somehow we pull the next mob. I'm a little upset because, like, we do have some people that are really close to dying, and at this point, I'm just like, yo, like, let's target those individuals. But they don't look like they're getting focused at all. So I don't know if the DPS, well, some DPS is dead. Well, no, it's just our healer is dead. I do have my regrowth right there, but no. So I'm just like, yo, let's kill those guys. We didn't kill anyone. 3%. You know, a little frustrating. So I'm not really sure who did it. Someone was saying that they thought it was the hunter's pet, and then the hunter responds that it's like a trait. I don't know if it's an Azurite trait or a talent trait, but he can't really control the pet's AoE. But I'm pretty sure it happens again. So hindsight, I probably should have just pulled that, but I was thinking like, oh, this it'll get fixed, right? It does not get fixed. So I'm just kind of waiting around like a fool right now. We can't stealth past these. So we did kill one of them. Kind of just like analyzing it to figure out if I can see who is causing the AoE problem. I don't know. I wasn't over there. It's the hunter's pet. I don't know. I need to be taunting this other one. Okay, now I taunt. So I'm running into a little bit of situation here. This is a lot of damage. Our DPS is dead. I should be rezzing him. Okay. And I'm just realizing again that the Warlock is doing no damage. So I just decide to LOS. And luckily this healer, he's pretty smart. He starts LOSing with me. A lot of times when you start LOSing like this, you know, the healers are they don't really know what they're doing, especially like, and you know, I've been in that situation where you're kind of like, oh crap, stuff's going bad, like people are taking damage, and you're just staring at your heal bots or your voodoo, right? But this guy was doing pretty good. He was making sure I wasn't LOSing him. Okay, so this is where you can really just crush it with your time if you have somebody really good, right? So pretty much what you do is you put somebody in there that does not miss the cannons. One, I've had so many groups where they're just like somebody's shooting like and missing everybody or just hitting one person when you can hit like multiple people. Um, but pretty much put somebody in there who does not have good CC, right? Everybody else out of the cannon should be people that can use good amounts of CC, right? Because you do want to prevent them from moving. So you can see here we do have a little bit of a problem. I'm trying to get this shooting guy, this guy that's shooting. I'm trying to get him away from the cannon, so I believe I taunt him, and then I'm trying to LOS, right? But by the time I do get to LOS him, I lose my taunt. So I'm like, okay, forget that. Let's just have this guy shoot. So I do have aggro right now, so what I believe I should do, he's not really shooting because he doesn't want to kill us. Okay, I had a good shot out on that one. Alright, so now what our DPS does not realize is like, yo, we need to be on Gahoons, right? So I have to do everything I can to stop this from pretty much ruining the thing. So I root him right here. I CC him with my fear right here. I stun him. And thank goodness someone else arrives. Because if that guy runs out, find somebody else, like, we're toast. There's nothing we can do. And I've had that happen. I've had it happen where the whole team was alive, and they're trying to kill one target that the cannon's killing, because they want to do like 1% damage compared to the cannon. I don't understand it. And then a Gahoon just runs out that door and just pulls like the rest of that room that we didn't clear. So that was really frustrating. So all I'm doing right here, I don't care. This cannon's going to do the work. I'm just CCing. That's all you got to do. Yeah, that was really smart of the Warlock to jet over there. He's going to try to double cannon these guys. Nothing they can do now, but it's fine. I think he actually starts working on this new mob. And I didn't realize until now, watching this video, that he went over there. Because he's working on the... So I'm making sure cannons don't kill Gahoons, so range needs to be on them. I didn't realize that my range is already over there doing work. But he got killed. So that's a big fail on my part. Because we could have had this mob down. And somebody's in there missing. Oh, gosh. I think it's the hunter. Oh my gosh, this guy. We're all right. He's gonna do better on. Let's make sure. Let's see how he does. Okay, he's missing this bad guy. All right, he got the shot on him. That one was not his fault. All right, he did it. And you can see he's doing 120, almost 178 damage, right? So this is why, like, it doesn't even matter for your DPS. Just make sure you CC. You know, you can DPS your heart out. Just, it doesn't matter. You're not going to make a difference. Okay, so on this boss, I'm just going in here trying to get these cannons, or these barrels out of the way, these first two barrels. And make sure you don't start the fight with somebody outside. I've done that before, and that's a big no-no. So I'm actually clicking on everybody, making sure everybody's inside. That guy's outside, inside, inside, inside. Okay, so I'm good. Once that guy walks in, we're good. So as a tank, I just find it very important for myself to move the barrels. I try to move as much barrels as I can because I'm not the DPSer, right? Oh snap, dude, the Warlock's doing damage. I don't understand what's going on. So he could do crazy single target damage, but he can't do very good damage with like 2s and mobs of 3. I don't know. He's popping off though. That's some good 30Ks popping off. So again, I'm trying to move the barrels. Maybe our rogue's doing a lot of the moving as well, but he should be straight damaging the boss, you know? All I do is I just put him in corners. Try to put him in the same spot, but you know, whatever. Our healer's down.
Beware.
Alright, we got a hustle here. So I try to pull this back one, and what I like to do is I like to get the Moonfire out, and then I just like to pull, right, to pull back. It got a little bit screwed the pooch because, who was that? That was the freaking hunter! You know, I got a little screwed because someone ran in. I guess I should have Moonfire them both, but it's, you know, I like that idea where I get the Moonfire, you pull back, because, you know, the cannon's going to be messing around, going to be trying to hit them, and you don't want them to be. Okay.
Beware. Beware.
I'm playing dangerously, man, with this hunter around.
Beware.
He's out to get me. Okay. Try to maybe do some damage to these Gahoons or keep them in place, whatnot. This is where the range should be going on the Gahoons, and it looks like they do. So I'm going to go get the next mob real quick, because we only got 3 minutes to get a fight where usually a lot of people die on. And these guys are walking slow as heck. I don't know what's going on. But I was like, why are they walking so slow?
Beware.
There they are.
Beware.
Okay, and you can't see on my screen, but actually over here, I have markers on my screen. You can't see it because my picture takes it, but I mark. So I'm just marking right now. This is how the setup I like to have, where the markers are. I like my melee DPS kind of right here in these little coveys, and then my range on these two sides right here. A lot of people, they don't understand that. So these guys are just kind of standing around really far away, but it's whatever. So right now, the thing I'm thinking, like, we're time's gonna be really hard, so I'm popping all my cooldowns. I'm doing all my self-healing. I just want the cat to stay in kitty as long as possible. So it looks like he was, and he just popped out right now. And he moved a lot too, so he's stunned. But other than that, fight's pretty easy. This guy goes down, luckily to the Warlock, so it's great. He popped off single target. At least we got something.
Beware. Beware.
So it is really hard when you're tanking like this, though, to see where that crossfire is. So I usually get hit. It usually doesn't kill me, though, but you may have to use cooldowns on it if you're low health.
Beware. Beware.
So I think I took the hit again. I'm just popping as much stuff as I can to do my self-healing.
Beware. Beware.
So I notice everybody's really low, so I pop Frenzied Regen. Oh, we did pretty good. I thought it was like down to the wire, but we had almost a minute left. Almost a minute. A second off a minute. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know about any suggestions or any questions you have. But that's it. That's the +11 Tol Dagor. And that's it. Peace.